Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're still with you on this morning's edition of The Breakfast Show. And of course, as promised earlier, today we take a look at the country's role, Egypt's role in the region, not just in current times, but also in historical times. And joining us in the studio to tell us a lot more about Egypt's role in the region is our guest, Dr. Ismail Hamid, a historian. A very good morning to you, Doctor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Hamid. Of course, you are a historian, and you know well that Egypt, not only like Ange mentioned, have played a good role in Africa, but also throughout the Arab world and the whole world.
Yes.
So if you could shed some light on the role that is, the importance of Egypt's role throughout the region and even to the whole world now.
Yes. First of all, thank you for your kind invitation. I think if we go back for a while just to know the historical background of the value and the importance of Egypt, this just to give us an idea of what we have today. From the beginning, Egypt is considered to be the cradle of civilization, the first civilization that the man known. Also, Egypt gave the world and the other peoples lots of great achievements. The invention of the first writing, first alphabet, the paper, the medicine, invention of medicine and surgery, invention of architecture, invention of pyramids, lots of great things. Egypt also had the first world empire in the world during the 16th century till the 13th century. 3 centuries Egypt was a great empire that was giving lots of things for the other people. Even during the Greco-Roman time with the foundation of Alexandria, which became as the historical or the cultural center of the world. And we know the Museum of Alexandria, the Lighthouse of Alexandria, we know Cleopatra. Alexandria was the center of culture of the world. Most of the philosophers, scientists, and scholars, researchers, they came to Alexandria to study. We know that Pythagoras spent in Egypt more than 22 years to study the mathematics of Egypt. After that, he went back to his country, to the Greece, in order to show them what he knew in Egypt. Also, Euclid, who is considered to be the father of geometry, he was born in Alexandria. All his time was in Alexandria. Archimedes with the floating theory. Lots of great things that happened during that time. After that, after the Arab conquest, Egypt became the center of Islam. And Egypt became, or Cairo itself, after its foundation in 970, became the center of the Islamic world. From Egypt, the sultans of Egypt, they saved the Islamic world from great dangers. I think we have 2 great events during that time, especially in 1187, at the time of Saladin, who was the Sultan of Egypt. He led the Egyptian army to defeat the Crusades. Crusades during that time was a great danger. We know the story of Richard Lionheart of England, and when they came with their army in order to invade the Islamic world, the Egyptian army was Saladin. They defeated them and they stopped their danger. Less than 1 century after, in 1260, Sultan of Egypt Qutuz, he defeated the Mongolians, or the Tatar, in the war of Ain Galut. So also he saved not just the Islamic world, the whole world from the danger of the Mongolians, that they were very savage and they were very wild. So across the history, you have lots of great signs that Egypt had a special position. Also, we can say why that position of Egypt very special more than any other country. This in order to complete the story till our time. Look at the position, the geographic position of Egypt. Egypt is controlling the 2 important seas in the world, the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. And after the digging of the Suez Canal in 1859 till 1869, 10 years of digging by the Egyptian people, Egypt controlled the whole world by the Suez Canal from the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. So this is a very strategic position of Egypt. So all the great powers of that time, they looked at Egypt and how to control Egypt in order to control the whole world at the same time.
Indeed. Doctor, let's also talk about the role of Egypt, not just in the region, but also in Africa.
Yes.
Egypt has always had a very historical and important role in Africa, and it continues to have this kind of role. Tell us a little bit more.
Egypt, it has also a special position on the same time. a part of Egypt in Asia, which is Sinai. It's an Asiatic part, not African. And the rest of Egypt on the west of the Suez Gulf and the Red Sea, this African part of Egypt, which is nearly 94% of the land of Egypt. So Egypt is divided between two continents, and it does not happen just with different countries like Turkey, a small part in Europe and the big part in Asia, Russia on the same time. So just these three countries that they are in two different continents. And because of the majority of the part of Egypt or the land of Egypt in Africa, so Egypt had a leading role in Africa, especially after the revolution of July 1952. Nasser was the president of Egypt. He had a very wide vision on how to help the African country to give them the independence. So after the revolution of Egypt, Egypt gave all the support to the African countries and also the Arab countries in order to be freed and to be independent from the imperialism or the occupation. Look, for example, for Algeria. Algeria was occupied by France in 1830 till 1964. So more than 100 years of a very savage occupation. France considered Algeria as a French territory. So Egypt gave Algeria all kind of support, military support, financial support, in order to resist the occupation. And on the other side, France became so angry of Egypt because of that support of the revolution there. So France with England, with Israel, they made the war against Egypt, which is the war of the three-quarter invasion. It was in 1956. This is because of the support of Egypt to the Algerian revolution. And even with this, also Egypt continued that till the independence of Algeria, the same also to Tunisia, the same to Morocco, the same to the other countries. Till the year 1960, most of the African countries, they became independent. This because of the Egyptian role. Also, Egypt had a leading role in order to found an organization between the whole African countries, which is the African Union in 1964. Before that, nearly 20 years, Egypt also had a leading role in order to found another organization between the whole Arab countries, which is the Arab League in 1945. And in Alexandria, the year before, 1944, it was the preparatory conference, this for the declaration of the new organization. And thanks to the role of Egypt, all the Arab countries, they made the Secretary General of the Arab League should be an Egyptian. This was just an exception after the peace agreement with Israel that they transferred the residents of the Arab League from Egypt. But all of these countries, they appreciate the role of Egypt in the modern time. And I think from that's to be the Secretary General should be an Egyptian for the Arab League. I think something very important and very significant of this part.
Right, that's very good. That's very true that history recorded that for Egypt. But do you think Egypt's role in the region have retreated lately because of the different corrupted regimes?
Yes, we should recognize of this. We should confess of this point of view. Not just the history we should depend on. With the history, we should have the actions. So I think during the time of President Mubarak, we have lots of retreatment of that influence of Egypt for the Arab countries and even in Africa. And after the revolution with the instability that we have in Egypt, but we hope that Egypt should renew its influence in Africa and in the Arab world, because it is the destiny of Egypt. It should be the leading country of the Middle East, of the Arab countries, of the African countries. It is destined things for Egypt.
Doctor, do you think that now after the latest revolution, all the changes on the ground and the strength once again of the judiciary system, of several institutions here in Egypt, do you think that this could play a role in giving Egypt back its prowess in order to get back to its role in the region?
I'm very optimistic of Egypt, and I think I have 3 verses in Quran and the Bible and the Gospel. And Quran said that فَلَمَّا دَخَلُوا عَلَى يُوسُفَ أَوَى إِلَيْهِ وَقَالَ ادْخُلُوا مِصْرَ إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ آمِنِينَ. This is a promise of security in Quran.
Egypt.
Okay, this about Egypt. Only 2 countries in Quran that they were promised to be quiet and safe: Egypt and Mecca. Just 2. Okay, and both of them they were called and wished by 2 prophets. For Mecca it was Abraham prophet, and for Egypt was Joseph. And the second verses in the Bible or in the Old Testament or on the Torah, it said that Egypt is the paradise of God. It is mentioned like that in the book of Genesis, paradise of God. In the Gospel, it said that Mubarak Sha'abi Misr. It is said that not the President Mubarak, but it means that
Blessed.
the people of Egypt may be pleased by the God. So this is a blessing of Egypt. It is a promise of safety, of security, and also in Quran, even Pharaoh, he said that وَنَادَى فِرْعَوْنُ فِي قَوْمِهِ قَالَ أَلَيْسَ لِي مُلْكُ مِصْرَ. Only one country which is related with the mulk, with the kingship, with the power, just Egypt. So it is the destiny of Egypt. As we said, that cradle of civilization, the land of prophets, the land of holy books. The first holy book was revealed in Egypt. The land of religion, the first religion, which is the religion of Moses, was created in Egypt. So we should be optimistic about Egypt. We should not be afraid of all that happens. It is just sedition for a short time, but after that Egypt will have its leading role in the whole world, not just in Africa or in the Arab world.
Yeah, because of that importance that, or the many facts that you've mentioned right now, do you think that we are having an issue with the West, that it has many interests here in Egypt in particular, and it's trying to kill all our potentials by trying to divide the region and everything? Do you think this is the reason, and what are we supposed to do in order to be able to stand up to all those threats?
This is because of the value of Egypt. There are lots of Western interests in Egypt. So we can say that we have also Western intervention. This is because of the unstable situation that we have. If we have a complete unity between the whole peoples and the different groups of Egypt, so we can resist the other countries or the other powers. But we should, firstly, that we should unite ourselves from inside. It is to unify the body of Egypt, and after that we can resist the other. So this is the problem for them. They know that if Egypt is united, Egypt is stable, it will be a problem for the other countries. So for that we have lots of intervention in Egypt. We have also some groups that they make commerce of Islam, and they show a bad figure or a bad image of the real Islam, like the Muslim Brotherhood. I was a supporter of them, but I'm shocked of their way for ruling Egypt, and after that till now, I'm very shocked of them, and this is a problem. If we have nothing like that, so I'm sure that Egypt will be very stronger, and this is the idea.
Indeed. Dr. Ismail Hamid, historian, thank you so much, sir, for joining us this morning on The Breakfast Show. Thank you very much. And I guess with that, Dina, ladies and gentlemen, we wrap up this edition of The Breakfast Show. Many thanks for joining us. You're in the company of Angie Meher and Dina Hussein. Thank you, Dina.
Thank you, Angie.
And a very
good day.
Good day.